Welcome to all. Here we are going to learn the CHI 130 course, main group elements. Here today we are going to start the allotropes of carbon. Already we learned the boron family and the hydrogen and alkali metals. So start with the today's topic, that is allotropes of carbon. What is the allotrope? Allotrope is a variant of a substance consisting of only one type of atom, a new molecular configuration with new physical properties. That means they're having a same compound, but they're having a different or new physical properties here. Okay, allotropes of given structure will often have a substantial differences between each other. They have a different physical property, that is different structure, different melting points, etc. For example, the one allotropes of carbon is fullerene. It's many times stronger and lighter than the steel. That means the simple way, what is allotropes? Allotropes, that is the compounds or the same atom compounds having a new or different physical property, but they have a same chemical property. That is called as a allotropes. Here there are two different types of the allotropes of a carbon. First, that is the crystalline allotrope of carbon, and second one, that is the amorphous allotrope of a carbon. In a crystalline, it is divided, or it has different examples, that is diamond, graphite, fullerene, carbon nanotubes, etc. And in amorphous allotrope of a carbon, it also have a different examples, that is a coke, carbon black, and a charcoal. Okay, so let's start with the amorphous allotrope of a carbon. Here the coal, that means here this is the coke, carbon black, and the charcoal. All this can be made from the coal. This coal is a sort of the energy sources. It has the largest reserve and is often the cheapest fuel option. This fuel or the fossil fuel created from a remains of a plant, that means this coal which we prepare or which can be obtained from the plant. Okay, this is the structure of the coal. What is the property of the amorphous carbon? They have the hardness but easily breakable. They have a low friction. It is used as electrical insulation, chemical inertness, optical transparency. It have the ability to absorb a photon selectively, and the smoothness and resistance to the to wear. The uses, what is the uses of this amorphous carbon? This amorphous carbon is used as a fuel. It also used to produce the electricity in a power plant. Here the amorphous carbon finds its use in advanced chemistry experiments, and also in the production of a carbon nanotube and the carbon nano brush. The coke, the product left after heating a coal, is used to manufacture iron and the steel. These are the uses of the amorphous carbon. Next type here we are going to learn, that is the crystalline allotrope of a carbon. Here there are the different crystalline allotropes. First, that is a diamond. Okay, next graphite. Next is Lawrence Delight. Then carbon 60 is called as a Buckminster fullerene or buckyball. Next is carbon 540, carbon 70. These also are the allotropes of the carbon, and single bond carbon nanotube and the bucket tube. Here we are all learn in detail. First we are going to learn, that is graphite. this is a structure of the graphite. This is the original graphite, look like this. Okay, and this graphite which is used to for prepare a pencil, and which we call as a lead pencil. But this lead is not the metal. This is lead means what? This is a graphite. This is the solid graphite. This is powder form of the graphite. Okay, let me start from the introduction. The mineral graphite is an allotrope of a carbon. It was named by Werner in 1789 from the ancient Greek, that is to draw. Graphite means to draw or to write, for its use in a pencil. Okay, why? Because this is firstly used for the pencil, where it is commonly called lead. But don't be confused, because this is not a metallic element lead. It is a lead which is made from the graphite. The graphite is the most stable form of a carbon under a standard condition. Therefore, it is used in a thermochemistry as a standard state for defining the heat of formation of a carbon compound. Let me learn the structure of a graphite. It has a sp2 hybridization. Each carbon is bonded with the 3 other carbon atom via sigma bond. The fourth electron of each carbon atom form a delocalized p system. It has a hexagonal ring in a parallel layer. The bond angle is 120 and the carbon-carbon bond length is 1.422 angstrom, and the distance between the layer is a 3.35 angstrom. Okay, it has, this is the first layer and this is the second layer of the graphite. Okay, and it has some space, and that's why here these are the good conductor of the electricity. Let me learn their hybridization. Here this carbon which is having electronic configuration is 1s2 and 2p4, sorry, 1s2 and 2p2. In a hybridized state, what happened? There is a excitement of one electron from the s orbital to a p orbital, and here we get the hybridized state like this. One electron here, and we are already having a one electron, and this one electron is excited to the p orbital. But here this one s orbital and 2p orbital are combined together, and there is a formation of sp2 hybrid orbital, and that's why it has a sp2 hybridization. And here this unpaired electron which is used for the formation of a pi bond between a two carbon. This is a benzene like structure. You can see here it has a benzene like structure, and here there is a double bond, okay, in that. And that's why here this carbon, one carbon is bonded with the 3 another carbon. This one carbon is bonded with 1 2 1 2 2 and 3 carbon here. That's why they have a sp2 hybridization. This one carbon bonded with 1 2 and 3 carbon, that's why it has a sp2 hybridization. And the sp2 hybridization always has what structure is trigonal. Okay, and that's why here they have the hexagonal ring in a parallel layer, and the one remaining electron which is useful for the formation of a pi bond. Okay, this is useful for the formation of a pi bond, and their structure is trigonal planar. Here the number of carbon which is bonded together, that's why they have a structure hexagonal ring. And here sp2 hybrid orbital always have a bond angle 120. Okay, they have a bond angle 120. This is about the structure. Here this graphite has a layered, like this, layered planar structure, and each layer the carbon atom are arranged in a honeycomb lattice. You can see here honeycomb lattice with a separation of 0.142 nanometer, and the distance between the plane is 0.335 nanometer. Here this distance is 1.42, and here this distance is what, 3.35. Here this distance. Next is the two known form of graphites are alpha graphite and the beta graphite. The alpha graphite always have a hexagonal structure, and the beta graphite have the rhombohedral structure. They have a similar physical property, except that the graphite layers stack slightly differently. Here the hexagonal graphite may be either a flat or buccal. Okay, unit cell. Here you can see here the ball and stick model of a graphite, like this. Here this is the side view of a layer stacking, and this is a plane view, a layer of a stacking. How they are stick together, the number of carbon which can be stick together. These are the three way to see ball and stick model of the graphite. This is the two graphene layers which is binded together like this manner. This is the side view and this is the plane view. Next we are going to learn the properties. The high thermal conductivity, and it has a thermal shock resistance, have the high melting temperature, low density, low hardness. Why they have a low hardness? Because of their structure. Here you can see here the one layer and the two layer which has a gap, which they have a distance 3.35. Due to this large distance between these two layer, here this graphite becomes a soft. Okay, here this have a low friction and self lubrication. The electrical conductivity highest of a non-metallic material, low coefficient of thermal expansion, high strength which increases with the temperature rises, and high stiffness. Next we are going to learn the application. The graphite is mostly used in a pencil, steel making, expanded graphite, brake lining, batteries, and foundry fencing, and it is used as a lubricants. Here you can see the carbon brush. This is used for making a carbon brush. This is used for automobile part. This is used this part in only the 10% which is used for the batteries. 14% of the graphite which is used for what, making of lubricants, and about 41% graphite which is used for making steel foundries and refractories. Okay, next application is it is used as a lubricant at a high temperature, as a refractory material of making a crucible, and electrode for high temperature work. Mostly it is useful for making of the crucible. In electrotyping and in the manufacture of gramophone records, graphite is used for making the non-conducting surface so that electroplating can be done. For manufacturing a lead pencil and the stop pens, and also it is a component of a printer ink. Okay, this is about the graphite. Here we are learn what is the allotropes. There are different types of allotropes. Mainly they have two types, crystalline and the amorphous allotrope. We learn the amorphous allotrope, their properties and their application, and we start to learn the crystalline allotrope. We learn the first allotrope, crystalline allotrope of a carbon, that is a graphite. We learn their properties, their structure, hybridization, and also their application. Thank you very much for watching this lecture. Next time we learn the next allotrope of a carbon, that is a diamine. Thanks for watching this lecture.